Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chahakwadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawak, just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit and driving. So I'll be roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, but I looked up this word of base, Daniel 4:17, where it talks about how the Lord, he ruleth in the kingdom of men and give it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the bases of men. The last portion of that particular verse. And I just been I'm at the plantation, been a few places. Mainly when I'm at the plantation, I'm really only dealing with Edomites or Elamites or Moabites here and there, but it's mainly Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man. And it's just, these people are really, it's just the more and more as time goes on and you start to see the wickedness of these people, you start to really see how base they really are. So this word of base, it says, it means to lower or reduce something in rank, status, office, or reputation, right? And the Lord set up a real stupid ass people, man, to run his planet, real weirdos. I mean, they're doing their part, they can't help it, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, when you look at what they do and how they act and how they move, it's just only the truth of these scriptures, only Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai opening us up and making us aware of these things, that we can see that. Because before we came into this truth, or at least me, I can say, you can kind of agree when a person might say, well, it's not just one race, it's all races. Because I never used to even single out Esau. It was certain things, like you knew this nigga was just off his hill, he was wicked, but it was never to the point of like how the scriptures describe the guy. Like you can just clearly see this fucker is off, man. He really doesn't have no business being in power. But the Lord, through his power and might, has shown that he can set up the basis of men. Like, he just doofy, bro. Like, I'm riding through the park right now. Very beautiful park, And Esau, they're somewhat trying to keep it up. It's clean. Or at least, because I'm in their area. So, of course, it's clean. They keep the grass cut and stuff. It's a nice big park. It rolls through. Actually, it's a state park, so really it goes through the state. Depends on where you are, and there's different names for each different park. But this particular one I'm riding through right now, it's I don't know. The shit could be 10 miles or whatever, and then it'll break off, and you could go to another point and get back in it. It's the whole state, right? So just riding through. And just looking at all these fucking chemtrails, you got people out here on their bikes, they trying to jog, they trying to walk, they trying to get healthy. But in the meanwhile, you sucking in all this bullshit that's in the skies, bro. I'm talking about this shit. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. You think that somebody that's even flying the planes would say, nah, man, I'm not doing that. Somebody got to know. Somebody got to know, like, this shit not right what we spraying. Just mist, bro. No clouds, just mist. You can tell the difference. The shit irritates your fucking eyes. It irritates your nose. It irritates your nostrils and your esophagus. It's just weird, bro. And he will not fucking stop. I just rolled through an area. Motherfucker done cut down a whole bunch of fucking trees. Ready to pop up another data center. Sucking up all the damn water. Got that humming sound in the backdrop that'll, even kill a damn dog's ears. You have like those geofences for dogs. Esau is this man. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. You can't get around it. I'm just looking at him. Constantly fucking with something. Everywhere I done went, you know what I'm saying? It's like this motherfucker, he's constantly digging something up, trying to replace something. Putting some damn pavement and cement down and over it again. Just aggravating seeing them, bro. Came across this very first Edomite this morning I had to deal with. And when the scripture talks about hairy, you know, because that's not exactly what the scripture is going into to qualify as far as them. But Esau, there are some hairy ass Edomites. And so this nigga, man, you know, hair all out the damn shirt, all out his back. You know what I'm saying? He had his motherfucking pants all up in his stomach on some lumberjack shit. You know, he's a, you know, nice dude. But is he, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking like, well, damn, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is all that on your shirt? Is that dog hair? And then you know dog hair. You could tell dog hair. It wasn't dog hair. It was actually this nigga's hair. I'm talking about shirt just cluttered with his fucking hair. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, hair. You know how you, when you know, before, you know, you used to get those haircuts and you get those lineups and shit. This nigga's hair was going from his motherfucking head, attaching with his back, man, with his neck and all that shit. And I'm just looking at this nigga like, nigga, you look disgusting. Because the shit was all over his shirt. I'm like, it wasn't dandruff. This shit was like hair shedding from this nigga like he's a fucking dog. Anyway, man. With that word, it goes off into, it says it often involves conscious belittling, humiliation, and degradation of oneself or someone else. See? And that's pretty much overall what's going into Esau. He's not smart, man. Like, you know, like I said again, I'm in the park right now, riding through. Pretty much I'm almost about at my destination, a little something. But, you know, motherfucker walking in behind the dog squat, take a shit. This nigga already got a full bag of dog shit in his pocket. He pulls the bag of dog shit out of his pocket, plucks up that dog shit, puts it in the bag, and stuffs the bag right back in his damn pocket, and continue on walking like that shit is normal. Like, nigga, you got a warm bag of shit in your pocket. Oh, man. Lord. Oh, man, Los. We need a break, man. Jake need breaks from Esau, man. But I had the scripture, let me go back into it. What was it? This light, I was going to try and get it. Yeah, this is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know. So all other nations know, you know, that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and setteth up over it, Salakia, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. You can't tell me these people are not base. You can just tune in on a Sunday and scroll through your main channels and look at the sports that they got. Right now, you know, you might see rodeo, you might see golf, you might see some race cars or some shit. You know, just some boring ass shit, bro. No salt, no flavor, no nothing, bro. It's just it's crazy to even just watch or see. You know, you have to really just kind of calm yourself these days, man. You can't even really. You got to take a break, bro, from this shit, bro. You know, but I mean, we have to look at the news. We have to watch and pray. We have to you know, scour these articles and stuff like that, and see what's popping, and get into, you know, the prophecies that's going on. And as you're doing that, it's draining, man. I'm seeing Esau. It's draining watching this dude. It's draining hearing about the stories and the heinous crimes that this motherfucker commits, man. It's draining. And then not to mention, you know, just having to just live day to day, man, just in his kingdom. That shit is wearing, man. The scripture that talks about he wears out the saints. Jake warm, man. You know, that's how we know this thing got to be coming to an end soon. It can't be too much more to this kind of wickedness, man. It can't be that too much more to the kind of strain or stress that's being put on the men of the Lord, man. It's stressful being in this man's kingdom, man. It's stressful as hell. It's like we done got beyond seeing some 6 foot nigga, 6'5", and some damn booty shorts twitching up the block, or he's at a damn counter at Walmart, you know what I'm saying, talking about, can I help you? You know, all that shit like that, like, you know, that right there, that role of it, it's just kind of like, you just like, but it's so much more. It's just, it don't stop, man. The shit that this guy is into, it doesn't stop. And they're falling off, though. Because I just seen this article, too. Let me see if I can get it real quick. See, this is Esau right here, right now. This is him in his kingdom. SNAP recipients aged 55 to 64 with no children under 14 must now show 80 hours of work or job training a month or lose benefits after 3 months. Who they got in the picture? Look at that Edomite, looking worried, boy, with that handlebar mustache. Worried. See, Esau, he doesn't care about his own people. That shows you, that's proof that he's base. That's proof that he's a base man. You know? And I was listening to, you know, the Elder Malcolm and them yesterday, the GMS camp, and he, you know, I heard him tell this story before, you know, about how when he was in, you know, the military or whatever, and how, you know, he was, you know, he'd be walking, you know, he was walking through the mall with a couple of other, you know, Marines or whatever. I think he said 2 so-called black guys and a so-called white guy. And, you know, every time they would pass somebody that was, you know, that was a Jake, so-called black, they get a head nod, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what up? You know? And so the white dude kept seeing them do it. He's like, you know them? And, you know, Elder Malcolm is like, nah, I don't know them. And then he said they went somewhere else. and it happened again. And said the white dude asked him, you know them? It's like, nah, I don't know them neither. He like, oh, white people don't do stuff like that. But see, that's that thing of Esau don't give a fuck about each other. Now, they'll come together to hammer you Jakes. They'll come together to get down on you Jakes. No doubt about that. You best believe that. They will get down on you Jakes. And then they'll get right back to fighting each other. Because they got to do something. They gotta strike some kind of blood. Esau can't make it without blood splatter, man. That's why that scripture talked about. I mean, you know, he's a bloody man. He's a cunning hunter. He's into the sport of carnage, man. He kills for sport. And I really gotta say, if Esau didn't have that out to go out, you know, like, and go out and you know, hunt. If Esau didn't have all these seasons to do all this hunting, you know what I'm saying, these different hunting seasons and stuff like that, he'd lose his motherfucking mind if he couldn't kill nothing, man. Because he has to have something to kill. He has to. He's a bloody man. Can't help himself. So once they, you know, they get Jake in order, you know what I'm saying, and whatever again, you know, they gonna get to war. They've been warring against each other forever. It's like you got these Ukrainians and Russia going at it right now. You got fucking America involved in that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You got the Germans. You got the only people on the planet that's doing all this wickedness as far as, you know, all these damn killing is Esau. That's it, man. All right, I'm parked. Let me see. We probably can get a little bit of this article. Yeah, the people are mourning, man. Even his own people. And then they get on the news and try and gaslight your ass as to if everything is all right. Okay, it says the One Big Beautiful Bill Act signed into law on July 4th, 2025. Here you go. Y'all 250th anniversary, you're not going to be able to go get no hot dogs with your SNAP benefits. Expanded SNAP work requirements to cover adults up to age 64 and narrowed the definition of who qualifies as a caregiver. As of June 2026, states are still rolling out enforcements for the newly covered age group. And many recipients between 55 and 64 are only now discovering that the rules apply to them. Uh-oh. See, you Edomites weren't expecting that. The mandate is straightforward on paper. Prove 80 hours of work or job training every month or lose SNAP food assistance after 3 months. That's crazy, bro. Because you looking at 55 to 64, man. A lot of people in that age range, they don't know how to work no damn computer. They may have a cell phone. They can go in there and shoot a quick text or something like that. They may know how to get to their Facebook, some of them, you know what I'm saying? But, man, a lot of these people don't know And who's hiring 55 to 64-year-olds? You know, like, well, what are you supposed to do? You go in, you and pretty much you beg, like, hey, look, I just need 20 hours a week. I just need 20 hours a week so I can keep my benefits. That's it. You got a person getting up, already mentally challenged, already stressed, been stressed all their damn life. Or you about to see some shit, bro. It says, but for a population that includes displaced workers, people managing chronic health conditions, and grandparents raising teenagers, the consequences are severe. The average monthly SNAP benefit for an individual is roughly $194, according to the USDA program data. For many in this age group, that benefit is the margin between eating regularly or skipping meals. And you about to see a bunch of motherfuckers skipping meals, boy. The federal government has required certain SNAP recipients to work or participate in a job training since the 1996 welfare reform law. Those rules targeted a category known as able-bodied adults without dependents. And for years, the time limit capped out at age 49. So this nigga done raised that bitch up by fucking 15 years damn near. The Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023 began raising that ceiling in phases, pushing it to 52 in fiscal year 2024 and 54 in fiscal year 2025. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act pushed the boundary much further. Under the enacted text of H.R. 1 from the 119th Congress, the limit now applies to adults age 18 through 64. The USDA summary of the law confirms this expansion, which pulled in roughly a decade's worth of older adults who had previously been shielded by their age alone. Not no more. Esau don't care, man. The monthly threshold itself did not change. Federal regulations have long required them to an average of 20 hours, qualifying activity per week, or about 80 hours per month. Qualifying activity include paid employment, participation in SNAP employment and training programs, approved community service, or vocational education. So yeah, you're going to get out here, you're going to work somewhere, you're going to do something. You may not even be getting a paycheck. Your ass is going to work somewhere for free for 80 hours a month. These people are expecting you to go out and do, community service type shit. The penalty for falling short is also unchanged. Recipients who do not meet the threshold lose benefits after receiving them for the first 3 months within any 36-month window. Ooh, boy, it's about to be some hungry ass people out here, bro. It is about to be some hungry people out here. The age expansion alone would have been significant, but the law also narrowed who counts as caregivers and changed, and that change has blindsided many households. Previously, having any dependent child in the home could shield a SNAP recipient from the time limit. The new rule, as described in the Congressional Research Survey Service analysis, restricts that protection to households where the youngest child is under 14. The enacted text of H.R. 1 should be consulted directly for the precise statutory language, but the CRS analysis is the most detailed public available breakdown of how the caregiver threshold operates under the new law. A parent or grandparent whose youngest child or grandchild is 14 or older is now classified as an able-bodied adult without dependents. Damn. Whew. Regardless of whether they are actively raising that teenager, the legislative record does not reflect significant public debate over why 14 was chosen as the cutoff rather than another age. Yeah, because they want a nigga to pay child support till they're 18. And you so-called white people, these kids, they belong to you. You're in control of the state. You the one that's got the social security numbers. You the one that's pushing on birth certificates on them when they born. They belong to you. You can come take them if you don't like how they're being raised. You know? Yep. Hey, man, it's about to get grimy out here. The practical reach of this change extends well beyond traditional two-parent households. Grandparents raising grandchildren, aunts and uncles caring for nieces and nephews, and parents of teenagers with disabilities who are 14 or older all fall under the new definition under the law. A grandparent whose 15-year-old grandson lives with her full time is treated the same as a childless adult. Damn. She must document 80 hours of monthly activity or face a benefit cutoff, even though her caregiver responsibilities have not changed. Woo, woo. Hey, this gonna hit a lot of you women over the head. A lot of you older women, y'all been y'all been fucking with that system, man. Y'all been cheating that damn system for so long. You know, Esau cutting into y'all asses. And then at the same time, too, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, he's gonna use this squeeze to get you to come and line up with them kids and get them goddamn implants, man. The microchips. That's what it's all leading up to, that Revelation 13:16. Let me grab it real quick. Yeah, this is what's about to happen. Because people are already stressed. Like, what are you supposed to do? People are already stressed. People are already stressed to the bone right now. The fucking gas prices is through the roof. The groceries are already high. So that little $194 that you giving ain't going no goddamn where anyway. You can't do nothing but live off rice and beans and shit all damn month long. You ain't all that trying to throw some meat in there. All these people about to become vegetarians. You trying to throw some meat in there somewhere? You might be able to get a man. This place is through, bro. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, it's going to take quite a bit for them to have people voluntarily just walk up and say, hey, look, you know what? If that's going to give me relief for my family, where do I sign up? Where do I go? What clinic do I go to? Where do I go to receive this shot and you turn on my benefits within my skin? You know what I'm saying? Because right now they got the card, right? You know, your little EBG card. You go in, you swipe it, you put your little numbers in. All that shit gonna be on a microchip. They're starving the people out, man. Because everything is fucking expensive. There ain't nothing going down. They fronting like it is. You know, Esau, they get on the news, man, and they gaslight the shit out of y'all, you doofy ass Americans. But people feeling it, man. And let me get this real quick. I didn't mean to even go this route with the with the lesson, but hey, that's the spirit. Because the apostles was bringing it out Saturday at day camp in New York. And they was asking questions, you know, of I think it was Chat GPT or it could have been Google, but they was asking questions about, you know what I'm saying, why they building these data centers? Would it have anything to do with microchips? And that shit was saying yes, yes, yes. Because people will do anything for relief, and especially when it comes to hunger. You seeing your kids is hungry. Nobody wants to see their children hungry if you got a damn heart. Even though, but you see a lot of these Edomites, you know, you've been seeing a lot of Edomites in the news with their damn kids in a fucking dog kennel, locked in their damn room, you know what I'm saying, shitting on themselves with, you know, shit and piss everywhere, you know. So you got a lot of these weird ass Edomites like that, but you got you know, Edomites that, you know, they care about their kids. And of course, you know, Eve. What do you think Eve is going to do? You think Eve is about to be... Eve been riding the system for a long time. Real long. Generation to generation. To generation. To generation. Like for real, for real. Let me get this Proverbs. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just get this first because this comes to mind when it comes to Eve. When it comes to these women. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Yeah, they just gonna want somebody around to just shit for some damn safety. You know? They'll share, man. if he's the ones that, he's working and he can help with some bills. But anyway, in the meanwhile, there's going to be a lot of these fucking men getting drafted, going to war, going to get their asses blown to smithereens. There's going to be a lot of them that's going to get fucking locked up in these internment camps. It's going to be, because they don't have these camps for nothing. They building these camps because they know you people are about to get out of control because the people are suffering, man. But it's good, you women is going to come to a point where you're going to be so stressed. You're going to want relief, man. And shit getting crazy as fuck. It's getting crazy out here. This is not a safe place, man. America's not safe. But let's go, wanted to get this one in Proverbs. Probably can end out here, Yaharatazah. I didn't mean to even keep it this long. I was just riding, and I'm looking at all the damn chemtrails in the sky. And I'm just sitting here now just looking at this shit, and it's like motherfuckers just be walking back and forth, and don't even be considering this shit, bro. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. People are mourning. You don't think people gonna mourn from this? And it's a lot, you better believe, it's a lot of megas. It's a lot of megas. It's a lot of MAGAs. You know what I'm saying? And you got what they call it, MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. No, it's about to be some real hungry ass, sickly ass people out here. Let's see, was that one in Proverbs 28:15, a roaring lion and a raging bear. So is a wicked ruler over the poor people. See? This man is wicked as hell. He don't give a shit about these people, man. And Donald Trump, he said it. He doubled down on that shit. He said that shit one time, and then he went on TV with a sit down on one of them news channels and said that shit again. I don't give a fuck about you Americans and your financial situations. All we care about is Israel. Israel. He didn't say Israel, but it's pretty much about Israel. All they care about is Iran not getting their hands on a nuclear weapon. This man don't care nothing about you eating, man. Anyway, though. And that was pretty much about it. I mean, it was more to the article. Let me see what else they got in here. So this part of it says where, let me see. Yeah, it's going to be them caregivers, man. It's going to be on, them grandmothers and them grandfathers that's taking care, because that's America. That's just the way that America is set up, you know what I'm saying, where generation to generation, grandmothers and grandfathers are the caregivers of the children, because it's just the way that it is. The mama get out here hoeing, she fucks her life up, she drops the kids off with the grandparents, you know what I'm saying? Those kids get old enough, they have kids, the mama, daddy might get their shit together now, the cycle continues with them, and it's just an ongoing thing. Okay, it says the statute is already in effect, but enforcement is uneven. States vary widely in how quickly they can update eligibility systems, retrain caseworkers, and notify affected households. Some states are phasing in enforcement for the 55 to 64 age group over several months. Others began applying rules as soon as the law took effect. As of mid-2026, no centralized federal tracker shows which states have fully implemented and expanded requirements, leaving recipients uncertain about when their 3-month clock actually starts. Yeah, boy. And that's going to be a lot of hell in itself, because, Esau and these government agencies, man, it is hell going through this man's system and trying to get some benefits or anything. I remember when the COV-19 shit went down. And, we had to... Shit, I ain't never got no damn benefits out of this fucking place. But, with the job, they gave us our little paperwork. They had the job numbers and, all that. Just everything you needed to do the unemployment. And so, trying to do that shit, man, they put a nigga through hell trying to get that shit. Nigga had to come up with fucking birth certificates. Fucking mail them bitches in. And then it's like, If you don't have nothing to stay afloat until they get all that shit together, your ass is doomed. Okay, it says a related question involves the waivers. States have historically obtained federal waivers to suspend time limits in areas with high unemployment and insufficient job availability. Whether those waivers will be adjusted, curtailed, or honored under the expanded age range has not been addressed in public USDA guidance. The agency's material indicates that guidance on the new laws provisions is still being issued, but specific waiver policy under that broadened definition remains unresolved. That gap leaves the state in high unemployment regions uncertain about how aggressively to enforce the new rules and leave recipients in those areas unsure whether they are protected. So here you go, you got AI taking jobs, right? A lot of these people are just not hiring. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not there. You know, it's a lot that's affecting. It's not like, but see, remember, what was that? Maybe it ain't even been a full year, but remember when they first, well, it's probably been about a year now, when they started to round up the immigrants, when they had ICE out on the streets. And I can't think of the title, or it's some lady over agriculture or some shit like that, or something to that extent. I'm not exactly sure the title. I can't think of her name right off. But she was basically like, oh yeah, y'all can come and work in these fields. Y'all come work in these fields. So you about to have some 55 to 65-year-olds working in these motherfucking fields, bro. These people can barely walk. They can barely, bend over. You about to have these people out in these fields in that hot ass weather. And that just show you, man, how Esau, that cruel Lord. Matter of fact, we can end out with that. That's that cruel Lord. Esau is that cruel Lord, man. But she said that shit. She was standing on a podium, right out in a beautiful sunshine. It was a beautiful day that day, and she was doing a press conference. And it was like, yeah, well, hey, shit, hey, we got work for you. Then they say community service. Here you go. You gonna work 20 hours a week. They might give you a little paycheck, and then let's just say you make too much with your 20 hours. Oh yeah, you went over 20 cents, and you that disqualifies you for your $194 a month. Esau is fucked up like that. And this is why it's important to rely on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. You're never to rely on Esau or rely on your enemy, man. We're to rely on the Lord, because he's the one that takes care of us to begin with. We're thankful, we can get up, go get our daily bread at these little gigs, man, until it's over with. But, man, yeah, man, it's going to come a point where it ain't going to be no damn job, where none of us going to be working. It's just going to be, okay, all right, well, Lord, hey, you said to trust on you. How we going to do it? What was that one? Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, you need to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushua. Because those are the true names of the Father and Son. Not no damn Jesus. Running around out here, you think that some white guy in the skies is about to help you, when this guy is the one that's going to put you through pure fucking hell. But they working on, getting these people, to a point of, what can I do? Because these people don't have no faith. That's where faith is going to come in at, man. I pray, that, that faith really overrides, man. You know what I'm saying? In those days, man, and endurance, man, because people do any motherfucking thing, man, when they get hungry. People will do anything when they lack food and water, man. You can go without, certain things. You can even be out here on these damn streets, which a lot of people are homeless. A lot of people living out of their cars. So it's getting crazy, man. It's about to get even crazier. So, hey, with that, Repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And continue on praying for the downfall of this place, because this is an actual fall of Esau's kingdom. And this is something that we actually pray for, though. So, don't get it twisted. We praying for this shit to go ahead and happen. Let these people go ahead and suffer. You know what I'm saying? And this thing go ahead and come to an end, man. Esau go ahead and implement that chip. They go ahead and do that World War III. And the Lord come on through and strike their asses down. Ecclesiasticus 25:7, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and a 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Yep. And you know what, too? Let me see something here real quick. Because I know this gotta affect MAGA, too. Let me see. Let me get I was watching the brothers. Go back off into it. Damn it, bro. Slovakia. Okay, so it's like him at the plantation, and just motherfuckers trying to talk about some damn overtime for some. Man, look, I'm trying to go home when my shift is over with. Fuck it, man. Anyway, let's see. Must be somebody else. Okay. I just want to see. Let me just do this right here. I want to do a Google search to see if how this affects MAGA. Does this affect MAGA voters? Let me see. Y'all went out and voted for Trump in droves, man. Trying to be, just being wicked as hell, you know what I'm saying? Really trying to hurt these immigrants, the Israelites. It says political affiliations does not grant an exemption, meaning the rule affects low-income voters regardless of their political alignment. Yep. So yeah, pretty much overall, it's gonna hit the asses over the head too. Cause you gotta realize, I mean, we've seen them. We've seen these people that, you know what I'm saying, that, motherfuckers living in these goddamn trailer parks. Living in these motherfucking trailer parks and shit out here with their damn trailer covered in Trump flags and shit like that. So it's gonna affect a lot of them, and you're starting to see a lot of those TikTok videos where they're starting to cry and moan, and I didn't know, and I hate I voted that way. I didn't know. I just thought, but see, that's that type of, you voted, you let Trump bait you into that hatred that you already had anyway. So it's not like they don't have the hate, but you let him bait you into voting him back in there to fuck you over too, which is beautiful. So, I'm going to end out there. Pray that the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yasha Allah and the Bubble Ball.